You're welcome back to the AM Weekend Show. Right now, we're going to be reviewing our newspapers. We'll be going through the front pages of our national dailies to find out what is happening in Nigeria. And we'll begin with the Nation newspaper. The first story, the boldest headline we have here says, more trouble as fresh wave of defections hits PDP. The writers say 3 Kebbi senators meet Tinubu to join APC next week. Jigawa, minority leader, hundreds of supporters dump party. President hosts Sokoto Kebbi governors, stakeholders. Ganduje APC has mechanisms for smooth integration of defectors. Also on this paper, FG forges ahead with Naira for crude policy implementation. JAMB releases 2025 UTME results, withholds 39,834 over malpractices. Poplio, okay. More on this paper, we have a headline that says, confusion trails gunmen attacks on travelers in Imo. Finally, on this paper, suspected herdsmen kill 9 in Benue communities.
And moving on to the Guardian weekend, despite penalty clause, public officers defy assets declaration law. This you can find on page 8 and 9. Prioritize uniting a fragmented world. Catholics urge Pope Leo XIV. You can find this on page 2. Why JAMB withheld results of 39,834 UTM candidates, the listed 4 centers. You can find this on page 2, and this is by Oloyede. Nigeria's logistics sector will worth over $3 trillion by 2030, says Minister. And also on this paper, we have NNPC diversifies as Stena Bulk. Caverton unites to bet Unity Shipping. And that's the much we can take from this paper.
Moving on to Saturday Times, IED explodes near mosque, injures 4 in Borno. Tiwa Savage delivers captivating performance at Usher's O2 Arena. NCAA sanctions Kenya Airways for consumer protection violation. FCTA prioritizes water for satellite towns, allocates 140 billion naira to education. Nigeria's security and political economy, you find that on page 16. 20 feared dead as gunmen attack set ablaze vehicles in Imo. Bill Gates to give away $200 billion, says Musk. Killing world's poorest children. Finally on this paper, ASU, union struggle not for bread and butter, says Ajero.
And from Saturday Vanguard, bolded headline says, terror attacks. Army General explains sudden resurgence. New Pope's connection to Nigeria, the white smoke from Chicago. This is on page 18. We also have on this paper, native doctors, kidnappers, scammers flee to Asaba. Soludo's crackdown in Anambra, hurting them. You can find this on page 10. And also on this paper, how doctor stole one of my twins during birth. Abuja housewife narrates. And finally on this paper, 2027, Atiku may want to run again, but will it help opposition? You can find more of this on page 9. That's how much you can take from the Vanguard newspaper.
All right, moving on to Saturday Tribune. The boldest headline here says, PDP set to drag defectors to court. Loses 3 more senators to APC. On this paper, man rapes 12-year-old daughter of woman friend in Ondo. Ibadan woman tells court, my husband laced our floor with charm, dared me to cross it. 2025 UTME, JAMB withholds 39,834 results for exam malpractices. At Awolowo's 38th Memorial Anniversary Service, clerics ask leaders to build enduring legacies. Also on this paper, youths flock to cocoa farming as prices surge. And finally, Glow explains how its products can improve performance in UTME and other exams.
And from Saturday Independent, we have exposed story of slave camp called Ondo School for the Blind. School can be compared to prison yard. This is by ex-students. Federal government to repatriate 15,000 Nigerians stranded abroad. Defections. 3 KB senators meet Tinubu in Aso Rock. We also have on this paper, condemned but not executed, how governors are silencing the gallows, strangling justice. This is on page 29. We also have on this paper 39,834 candidates results withheld as JAMB releases 2025 UTME. And lastly, from this paper, Tinubu to inaugurate Abuja International Conference Center to mark second year anniversary. This is from May 2. That's the much we can take from this paper.
All right, moving on to the Matrix. Tough reforms necessary for Nigeria's growth, says Tinubu. Tinubu to Qatari envoy. Step up humanitarian aid to tackle poverty in Nigeria. Qatari business delegation set to visit Nigeria soon, envoy reveals. Calvin Bassey listed among Premier League's highest-rated centre-backs. Thatcher slams Oswald Boateng over Arya Star, terms Burna Boy's outfit at Met Gala. Hajj 2025, FG flags off airlift of 64,188 Nigerian pilgrims. Conduct yourself in line with Nigerian values, Shetima tells pilgrims. Also on this paper, Vatican sets date for Pope Leo's inauguration mass. My refinery is not competing with NNPC Limited, says Dangote. Amid mass failure, teenager sues JAMB, Pepsi over hijab removal at UTME Center. Also on this paper, a headline says, How I was almost burnt alive during NSAS protests. This is credited to Desmond Elliott. And finally, land grabbing saga. Olubadan suspends 2 chiefs, strips them of titles.
And now from First News, Boda's headline says, after 30 years, Ajudwa faces cold walls again as Supreme Court revokes bail. Apex Court overturns bail in decades-old $1 million fraud case. EFCC declares hurdle to resume long-stalled prosecution. Still on this paper, federal government moves to repatriate 15,000 stranded Nigerians from neighboring countries. Foreign headers behind recent killings, DHQ. And also on this paper, federal government not pursuing Simon Ekpa's extradition. This is credited to AGF. JAMB releases 2025 UTME results withheld 39,834 over exam fraud. And still on this paper, alleged 12.3 billion naira fraud. Court adjourns Honeywell chair, ex-First Bank MD's trial till June 11. And that's the much we can take from this paper.
All right, moving on to the final paper we have here, Weekend Trust. It says, the Borders headline we have here says, the rise struggles of top northern brands. Another headline here says, clap back, privileged children fighting political battles. And another here says, JAMB releases UTME results, withholds 39,834. And another headline says, deputy governors who may lose seats. We find out on page 8. 3 Kebbi PDP senators defect to APC. That is the much we can take from this paper. And joining us to review the papers this morning is none other than our very own barrister, Chidi Ujoatumba, a human rights lawyer and CEO, Ujoatumba and Company. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning and thanks for having me.
You look radiant in black and white.
Yeah, that's our color.
We're saying it off camera. How do you cope
and
wearing
I don't
black
like
and white
wearing
all the
it
time?
on ordinary days, you understand? Because you find out that it's basically how you will dress as a lawyer from Monday to Friday. That's how you'll be dressing. You can't even wear any other. The court will not allow it. Yes, there are other colors, but basically we mostly wear black and white. Yeah.
And you feel comfortable?
I feel
all the days of your life.
Because my wardrobe. Just,
I cannot imagine that kind of life.
that's why I signed
I
up.
can't.
Mhm.
Oh well, you're welcome to the show.
Thanks.
And I'd like us to begin with this paper on Saturday Tribune. It says PDP set to drag defectors to court.
Okay.
Loses 3 more senators to APC. I'd like us to start here. What exactly is the reason for this defection, and how is it going to affect the coming election?
It will. Okay, let me start by the very first question, the reason for this defection. There are so many reasons why core PDP members, PDP states are massively defecting to APC. There are so many reasons. But one of the major reasons is that APC is the ruling party. Okay? APC is in power. APC can make a lot of good things come into your country, into your state, if you're in good terms with the president. And if like in a situation where the person is a governor, if you have, stolen some money, you understand, and you don't want a situation whereby EFCC will be harassing you, you understand, you join APC. The moment you join APC, all the money you have stolen, all petition against you will be forgiven. You will be forgiven. And nobody will...
Is that legal, by the way? Just
listen, nobody will call you a bad name. Nobody will call you a bad name. EFCC will not come after you. Even if it's on the news that you stole billion, you understand? It's not going to be an issue. Now, that's one reason why they are joining. Another reason why they are joining is in PDP, there have been a very a long-lasting quarrel, okay? PDP have not really been able to come back to themselves or to itself since after the last election. Even prior to that, they've been having problems. There's this internal democracy in PDP, which I believe that kept PDP together for the 16 years that they produced the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, okay? And that's the North will produce the president, and after 8 years, the South will produce, okay? Now you can see when PDP failed to acknowledge that internal democracy, when they say it's the time of the South. But Atiku with his, this thing, bought the ticket, and at the end of the day, Wike said, no, you think you can now buy the tickets and sweep the rug off our feet. Now started doing certain things that when you look at it for face value, you might think that they're anti-party activities, you understand? You are in PDP and you are serving an APC president. So this whole thing destabilized PDP. So if PDP has been together, fighting APC, criticizing them, creating that opposition front that Nigeria have actually desired, instead of depending on a very dark man, you understand? If PDP have been doing exactly what they're supposed to be done, you find out that the defection will not be strong. Even what happened in River State, you understand, would not have happened. You see, they've, turned River State into something. The next news we hear now is that the governor of River State will join APC. Kwankwaso is also planning to join APC. So let all Nigerians join APC. See, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. The same people who are in PDP are now joining APC. These were the same people who were in PDP before, who joined APC to win election. So you see, they are the same people. You understand?
Just
Let's call a spade a spade. Nigeria is recycling old politicians, unpatriotic politicians who don't have the heart of Nigeria at heart. Because it's not just all about running to a place where there is power. When that power is given to you, what do you use that power to do? What do you use that power to do? I saw what you were reading where my president, my own president, is begging Qatar to sponsor or to bring something for people who are suffering from poverty in Nigeria. I covered my face with shame. Hey, Nigerian president begging Qatar to come and support us that we are poor. Oh, man, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. How can we face this kind of a thing? Our president, a whole Nigeria, begging Qatar for relief, for what do you call it now? What do you call that thing now? Palliative. Yes. Our president is begging for palliative. See, that is what we are facing in this country. It's not as if APC has a magical administrative competence that have resolved all the problems in Nigeria. I don't know why they are rushing to APC. I don't know why. If not that, like my colleague rightly said that, if not that, APC will help them to write their election in 2027. You understand? Yeah. But when a party is in power, the party that is in power will buy INEC and they will buy courts and they'll carry two of them and they tell you go to court. At the end of the day, if you have lost election, you will lose hope in INEC and you will lose hope in the court. It will crash.
So do we have
when you bring the whole Nigeria in one party, it will definitely crash. It will crash.
So with this defection and everything happening, do we still have hope for credible election in 2027?
Did you? How much hope can you boast that you had in 2023 election? How much hope? Let's start from, that's where we are coming from. That's where we are coming from. I have been saying it in this studio. How many reforms have the members of National Assembly recommended in INEC? How many reforms have we recommended that needs to be done before 2027 election? We saw the holo. We saw the gaps, okay? Even in the Constitution. What have we done to ensure that what happened in 2023 will not repeat itself in 2027? Nothing. The leaders of INEC are still there. How many people have been prosecuted because of electoral malpractice? Absolutely nobody. At least JAM even have the power to cancel 39,000 people that they committed electoral malpractice. Can INEC only say that this person and this person committed electoral malpractice and cancel their election, or probably say let there be a reform? If you can buy INEC and you can pay judges in Nigeria, you become a governor or a president or any post you want to. That's where we are. And we have to say it with boldness. Do you know why? Because let me tell you what is going on. There's a move going on to stifle people, foster people, suppress truth. You understand? It's in the air. It's in the air. If you speak up, DSS or EFCC will come after you. You understand? Because they don't want anybody to talk. They don't want anybody to say what they are doing.
All right, Mr. Chidi. Sorry, I'd like you to hold that line of thought. We'll just take a very short break, and when we return, we'll continue.
Hey ladies, join us on Gyno Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
Breastfeeding doesn't even cause breast cell. The frequency of breastfeeding determines the approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.
Welcome to the latest and most amazing show on here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break.
You don't sing along.
I did single. For real.
You're not a backup singer.
That's what they do.
Welcome back. We're sorry for that rather short, that unannounced break. We're back,
Okay.
Mr. Chidi.
Yes.
You may now continue, but I'd like us to, of course, address the fact that PDP has taken these people to court, these defectors to court. Please, I'd like to know what you...
I would love this issue to really be well defined, maybe by the Supreme Court, which is the apex court in Nigeria, because there are laws and there are decided cases that say if you are elected on a particular platform, okay, you need not to move to another platform. You really have to stay in that. If you move in another party, okay, you tend to lose your seat. You tend to lose your seat, okay? But now, that particular law that states this thing also has a clause on it that you can only do that, you understand, except when there's an internal rival in your own party. But now, what the court will have to look at, what is happening in PDP right now, is it enough for anyone to leave the party like that, okay? Then going deeply into that question, we have laws protecting us, okay? The issue here is, when you don't trust the courts, okay? When you don't trust the courts, when you look at it, we have a court that someone did not even contest for a senatorial election, okay? He wasn't even there on the day, but the person is serving as a senator now in Nigeria, vied the Supreme Court of Nigeria, okay? So that's the problem we have in this country. Can we trust the court? Is the court trustworthy? Can the court use technicalities to still put us in more trouble? Because there are laws stating that if you are in a party and you win election with a political party, you need not to leave that political party. The moment you do that, you have lost your seat. Now, if we can give a strict interpretation of that particular law, what it simply means is that if you want to checkmate this flip-flop that politicians are doing, you can use that law to checkmate them. You can actually use that. I would want PDP not to pay lip service to this. Let them actually go to court, okay? Challenge this mass defection. It's very, let them just brief lawyers. Within 2 days, they can file, challenge this mass defection, okay? Bring clips of, because you know what happened? Bring clips of them declaring that they have moved from one party to the other, okay? And also, they will swear an affidavit. Bring all those things and challenge it. Let's know what the Apex Court will say. Because these are one of the things I think that if they continue to do, it will stop politicians from jumping from one political party to the other. Their own is not even the one that is making me to be angry or rather not happy. It's LP members. Yeah. It's LP members. Look at LP, a party that was rot in blood. A party that was rot. I mean, you saw what they went through. Those who voted for them, we are voting for them. Why they were hitting them on these eyes, hitting them on their groin, hitting them on their head, they were voting LP. Now, the those who got that, they have joined APC. I mean, look, there's problem in this country. There's problem in Nigeria, okay? And we cannot continue to blame those who are currently in power now, okay? Look around. New ones who are joining politics, how are they behaving? Are they showing anything new? Is there a kind of a deviation from what the old politicians are doing? I don't know. I keep on asking myself, who will save this country? What will be that thing that will happen and we will breathe again? That we need to break out of this trend of corruption, politicians moving from one party to the other. Because do you know what this thing is causing to our politics? It's killing opposition. Once opposition is dead, the other party will now ride on their high horse and do and say anything they want. So defection kills what? Opposition. When opposition is strong and firm and thick, their criticism will shake the other camp. When opposition is strong, when they sneeze, the other camp will start catching cold. But when you keep on depleting opposition, and when you keep on depleting opposition, at the end of the day, APC is not serving Nigeria very well. I have my facts. I can say that APC is not the best party. PDP is not even the best party. So I was thinking that we will have probably a coalition that will, because let me tell you one thing, it's all about that single leadership. That person you bring out. It's not about party name. When a man loves his country, and when a man is ready to move his country forward, people will come. Even those who are dead will wake up and join him. Because they will see it to be transparent that this man has a vision and he has the goodness of Nigeria at heart. So the policy he will be bringing in and the thing that he will be doing will show everybody that this is the man to follow. This is the future of this country.
All right, talking about dragging people to court, JAMB recently released their results and there's been records of mass failure. We're hearing that more than half of the candidates scored less than 160. Yes. 166. It's
70%.
Exactly. It's been a lot going on online. And we're seeing people coming out to call out JAMB. Earlier on, we were talking about someone who called out JAMB because of a student he had been following so far who has had a very good record of success educationally. And, her previous score was also very good. And suddenly, this particular JAMB is saying that she scored 134. We're also seeing another case here. I'd like to read it off the papers. It says, lawyer orders JAMB to review her intelligent brother's result after he scored 169 in the 2025 UTME. And she said, dear JAMB, my brother's JAMB results just came out and it's not adding up. This is someone with a consistent record of academic excellence. We can't accept this result. Too much effort and sleepless nights went into preparation. This is so unfair. Please review it. First of all, does this person have a case?
Yes.
Can she go to court? Is there anything she can do about this?
What are you talking about? See, you can recall your script. You can recall your script. You can even ask for independent examiners, okay, to still use the JAMB marking script to remark you. That is what people don't know about. You can recall your script. If you don't even need to go to court, you can write JAMB that you want to recall your script. If they fail to do that, you can now use that letter you wrote them, go to Federal High Court, you understand, get an order mandating JAMB to review your script. Okay. It's because most people don't know their right.
Don't know. I'm glad
yes, most people don't know their right. And I heard that some people are really going to court to, they drag federal government to court, not to talk of JAMB. No. Those who, you see, if you say that we have failed, that we committed, because I read this thing this morning and I was like, JAMB is still working as though we are in 1984. How can you just release 39,000 and say that they committed examination malpractice? How?
How was it investigated?
How was it investigated? Who determines what is examination malpractice? Can you show us any video? Can you say, can we review? Can we review? We should have JAMB portal that everybody should be accessible to. The way we have INEC what? Portal. That's where we are going to. That's where we are going to. JAMB is not even transparent as people expect them to be. Where we're transparent. So if you see a trailblazer, okay, and the person writes an exam and record the scripts. If they fail, sue them for damage. They will pay. What is JAMB? JAMB is the federal government body now. Yeah. Is JAMB invisible? We know where their offices are located. Serve them court process. Sue them. Let them bring those scripts. Let us record. Let me tell you something. The other day here, we are talking about the factors that may have necessitated this mass failure. I know for sure that it's not 100% blame on JAMB. Okay? Yeah. People who did not prepare very well. If you don't prepare, you see this JAMB exam is next month. They will start preparing today. No. If you don't take out time to prepare very well, you may not do very well. Okay? You have to prepare. Examination malpractice also, they will know that the exam is coming. Instead of them to be preparing, they'll be planning on how to go on special centers. They'll be planning on who will come and sit for them. Okay? So examination malpractice, late preparation, and so many things can cause the people not to do well. But JAMB hand follow. This technology they are bringing, all of them follow. Because it's now easy to switch people's, yes now.
Because I thought the idea of going...
You can write and they can... You can write and this person can write and they can just switch it. Yeah. Just press one thing and they will just switch it. So we should be investigating this thing. Because if you see where these children are reading, if you see the efforts that their parents are putting, so you understand? You would want them to come out, and even if they did not do well, let them have bad their script. Let them know the area where they did not do well.
Exactly.
Let them know why they did not do well in that area.
I don't even know if it's possible for us to have, like, when they mark your script, you can see.
Let them get a feedback. JAMB is not giving feedback. There should be a portal where you will go and you review your performance in the last JAMB. What you scored in English, what you scored in all the subjects you wrote.
The questions.
Why you will have failed.
You chose.
Why you will have failed. What is the correct answer? Because if you have a JAMB portal where you can go and you assess all this, it's enough for people to revalidate themselves, study more on particular subjects, and come back to do well. Because that's the best preparation that you can give to anyone. You shouldn't write JAMB more than twice. No. No, if I'm there, Lele, if I'm there, you shouldn't write JAMB more than twice. Because JAMB is working as though we're in 1984. No feedback. JAMB is even bullying some students who are writing the exam. JAMB is bullying. So why can you bring out 39,000 and you don't want to give me facts, data, how they conducted the examination? This is bullying now.
That is worrisome because
if I could get some number of those people, I will go to court for this issue. Yeah, this is bullying. This is bullying. You just failed my son. Okay, wait. You just failed my son because our omnibus announcement that they committed examination malpractice. How? When
did they investigate?
That's really what I want to look at. If they are judging by centers, the way they have miracle centers and all of that.
And special centers.
Special centers. If reports came that this particular center did this, did that,
it is JAMB that will set up that center.
My question is,
it is JAMB that will send a question there, materials there. Really? It is JAMB that will appoint inspectors and officers who go there to conduct the exam. At the end of the day, they'll collect all of them and fail all of this. All of them have failed that they committed examination malpractice. Is JAMB using this special center as a test lab for students? Are they using this special center as a test lab? Is it a test lab? Do you know how much they are spending in this exam all the time? And JAMB is not even ashamed of themselves. They'll come out and tell us that more than half failed.
And that's one thing about Nigerians. I think we take pride in this kind of things. More than half failed. So they want to like show that they are doing well.
Well,
to an
what
extent.
for what?
That's why
No.
they're
The standards are high.
No, their standards are not
That's why
high.
more than half.
I mean, what really hurts me is the fact
There
that
shouldn't be one jam
in
for
all
the World
those
Federation.
centers-
The jam they are writing in the north should be different from the jam they are writing in the south. There should be jam for the north and jam for the south. Because you can't tell me that a student here in the south, let's say in Lagos or in Ibadan, will be studying and he wants to study medicine, okay? Let's say University of Ibadan, and jam will say the cutoff is 200, okay? And at the end of the day, the target for that school might be, let's say, 260. And this guy will be reading and burning midnight candle to score at least above 250. Meanwhile, the same person in the north, all that person needs to do is to score 120. Is it one country? No, is this one country? And at the end of the day, that person in the north will get job more than this person in the south. So where is the justice now? So how can you say, we don't have what the north should write their own jam on a different date. Their scores should be given to them. The south should write their own jam. We shouldn't bring all of them together and say these people are less academically opportune. I don't know the kind of grammar they use to qualify this mediocrity. This is exhibition of mediocrity because we all are paying the same school fees. Hey, have you checked that? We are paying the same school fees though. We are attending the same school.
Same syllables.
The same syllables, different standards. And we say we are. Let's see where we are going with all this. All these
Okay,
things now.
I think we'll just wrap up this segment at this point. It's just so disheartening, especially because
Very,
of
very disheartening.
the fact that there'll be a lot of students in that 39,000 plus who
Innocent
know
students.
absolutely nothing.
They can't even
about
speak
that.
out. How do we know? How do we verify that those? Do you know what is 39,000? Which means that JAMB themselves have a hand in this examination malpractice. If 39,000 can take part in examination malpractice and you did not catch them on that day, it's not when you are marking that you're saying that they committed examination malpractice. How did you know?
What was the yardstick? This is just so disheartening. But of course, we will keep talking about these things, and we hope that corrections are made. We hope that the people in position to do something about this.
The way we have federal universities and we have private universities, we could equally have a private JAMB, where you can go and write, and they can send you to any school. All you need is to get the federal government approval. JAMB should have competition. You see, JAMB, it's all these JAMB should have competition. If we have competition in JAMB, they will sit up. Because my son can get up and say, Daddy, I want to write an exam to enter into. Do you want to write JAMB or do you want to write with this? Because all of them are accredited. We used to have WAEC. We later have a NECO. But they should bring us something like that to give JAMB a run for their money. That's the only thing that made them to sit up.
All right. Thank you so much, Barrister Chidi.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. That was Barrister Chidi Ujoatumba, a human rights lawyer and the CEO, Ujoatumba and Company. Up next on the AM show is our trip around the region. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.